All right, guys, Brian here with Roohide. Today we've got Sally here with us, and she brought her 4-year-old mare out, and we're going to fit this horse for her. We want to show you guys how we heat our plastic molds, and then we'll mold and set it right over the horse's back. So our water in the bin right now is set to 160 degrees. So I've dropped that in my bin, and I'm going to let that sit in the water until we start to get it nice and softened up. And play the waiting game. It shouldn't take very long if we have that proper temp. Now, at 160 degrees, once you pull that mold out of the water, you'll take it directly to the horse's back. Don't worry about it scalding the horse. If you have it at 160 degrees, it's not going to be an issue. We're going to pull it right off, set it over the horse. Most horses actually get to a very relaxed state once we drop this on the horse's back. You see them start to lick their lips and just get really soft and relaxed. So now I'm starting to get to be able to bend these corners. Leave it sitting there a little bit longer.
It's feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
If we get it too hot, it starts to stretch.
Yeah, you guys want to stop it before it gets to the stretch point where it's like pizza dough. You just want it soft enough to be pliable, where you can mold it easily over the horse's back, but not stretch out where you're going to pull it like dough or spin it. So flip it. Now we're starting to get it softened up there. So it's probably been in there, what, maybe a minute now? Just over a minute. So it's on track. Now I'm starting to get it softened up.
Right now we have the fire off. That way we get more even heat. If the fire's underneath that, sometimes we get it too hot right underneath the fire, and just want even heat on that. You can see now it's starting to
Just
soften
fold.
up nicely there.
And I'm not very tough, so if I can stick my hands in there, it's not going to be too hot for the horse. I'm going to give it about 25-30 more seconds, and I'll pull it out. I'll walk it over there to Charm. Let her get her little heat massage here.
So you can feel for the back of the scapula. And on this horse, it's right here. And so what we're going to do is move forward 3 fingers. So the front of the mold is going to be right here.
Why do you want it there?
Because the front of the tree actually comes up over the top of the scapula here. That scapula has to travel underneath the front of the bar. So in order to get full rotation and movement, we need that scapula to be able to travel freely under the front of that bar, allowing that horse to reach, grab more ground.
Okay, let me put her foot back.
Okay, ready there, Bob?
No, I can't even get this. It won't go.
5, 2, 1, 7.
Mine's videoing.
So this is perfect here.
Here's where you really want to spend some
Okay,
time.
let's just hold the head straight there. There we go.
Here's where you really want to spend some time pushing down right in that scapula, finding any little grooves.
And following the contour of the horse's back, which is over here. I'm going to pull it just a little bit this way.
Now the front left foot's a little ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it sets up slowly, so you don't have to rush it. If you actually have ice packs, right now we could actually run an ice pack over the top of this. If you don't worry about it. Take your time and just let it set up. It's Saturday morning here. We're not in a rush. She's enjoying the massage, and
Yep. No, he's fine.
And we'll just hold
He's
the head
fine.
straight.
He's
there.
fine. He's fine. And it helps having 2 people, one on either side of the horse, just for this reason. So while I'm rubbing on this side, he's making sure it's set down on that side. You got your handy dandy horse handler up front.
Yeah. It's just someone to hold the horse square. Not too many horses are bothered by this at all. They tend to love it.
Now we're starting to get it set up. You can feel it's starting to want to hold its shape on its own now. A couple things you'll see if the mold was never heated up enough, if it didn't quite get hot enough, it'll almost stay into a teepee form, or it'll start to get ridges. It won't want to fall nicely into the grooves along the back. So you want to see it just kind of form smoothly across that horse's back. If you were having issues with it and you feel like, oh, I messed up, you can pull that mold right back off and start again from square one. You can reheat and get it back to a soft state, and then start from there. So now we're back with some ice packs to show you how you can speed up the process of this mold setting up.
It's not necessary to do this. It just speeds up the process a little bit and ensures that when we take it off, it'll be well and truly set in place.
This can be handy for our Southern California and Arizona people as we start to get into the summer months and we don't have that cool climate outside to help it set up quick. So just speed up that process slightly.
We want to be able to pull this mold off and not have it collapse in the middle, so that's why we like to have it set up to where when we pull it off, it's going to be good and rigid. So right now, see, right now it's still a little soft, so we're going to drop it on there.
It'll find its home again.
Going to find its home, like Brian said. And just helping it cool down quicker here. How's that?
So, once we have it to this state, before you guys just go and toss this into a box and send it right back to us, I would leave it set aside. One of the safest positions to set it up in is if you have one of your other saddles or that on the ground. You can actually lay it inside the saddle or lean it up against an object, something that's going to keep it in its true shape. We'll let it set up there for maybe 10 minutes. Go drop it on the horse one more time before you come and ship it all the way back to us to Southern California. So let's say I've had it sitting there for 10 minutes or so. Drop it back on, make sure everything's still the same. The other thing I do, I've got a ruler right here, and I'm going to write down some measurements here in a second. I've got some mark points right here on the front of the mold, and this is just kind of insurance for us to make sure that everything's correct even when the mold gets shipped back to us. So I've got my mark spot there, my mark spot there. I want to do that directly after I pulled that off of the mold, so it's the mold holding its own shape there. I'm going to go inside to inside. If I can get it set. There you go. Okay, you want to hold that side down right there?
So just hold it nicely.
Yep.
On the inside.
Yep. So we're going inside to inside mark. Right there, we're at 10 and an 8. So we can write that down.
Much easier to use the horse.
Oh. Sorry.
That was the front, Brian?
Yes. And an 8 from the front. And the reason we do that, just if for some reason in shipping, if UPS or there was some rough shipping, when that mold gets back, if we need to make any changes and open it back out, we can do so. That one is 12 3/8. So we've got our back measurement now. And then when you would go to package the mold up, just make sure we have bubbles or whatever your packaging is around it to let it set nicely in the box without banging around or being squished, it'll help it stay in its true shape. Anything you want to add?
No, if you've got time, don't be in a rush. The best place for it to cool down is right there.
Yep.